Hey gamers! Remember when video games looked like they were made out of Legos? Pepperidge Farm remembers. We've come a long way, baby. From blocky characters to lifelike worlds, it's been a wild ride. Buckle up because we're about to take a hilarious trip down memory lane. Remember blowing into cartridges? Good times. Back then, graphics were so simple, your imagination did half the work. Trees were squares. Characters were a few pixels tall, and we loved it. It was also charmingly retro, like your grandma's couch. We didn't care about realistic textures or ray tracing. We had side-scrolling adventures and pixelated explosions, and those 8-bit soundtracks? Pure nostalgia gold. So join me as we fire up the time machine and journey back to the pixelated dawn of video games. Prepare to laugh, reminisce, and maybe shed a tear for those simpler times. Ready? Let's go. The 8-bit era. A time when pixels were large, and imaginations were even larger. The golden age of arcade games and home consoles. It was a period that defined a generation, where every beep and boop was a call to adventure. This is where legends were born. Think Pac-Man gobbling dots, navigating mazes while avoiding those pesky ghosts. Donkey Kong flinging barrels from atop his construction site, challenging players to rescue the damsel in distress. And of course, a certain plumber named Mario jumping on turtles, breaking blocks, and collecting coins. Mario wasn't just a character, he was a hero in overalls. We're talking about games like Space Invaders, where aliens were basically pixelated squares with attitude. Each level brought a new wave of invaders, each more challenging than the last. Or Galaga, where you fought off swarms of, well, more pixelated squares. But these weren't just any squares. They were enemy ships with intricate attack patterns. But hey, these squares were the enemy, and defeating them required skill, precision, and a lot of quarters. And we had to defend the planet, one pixel at a time. Each victory felt monumental, each defeat a lesson in perseverance. Then came Super Mario Bros., a game that would change the landscape of gaming forever. Mario, a tiny pixelated plumber, became a global icon. His adventures were more than just games. They were epic tales of bravery and determination. We raced through the Mushroom Kingdom, a world filled with vibrant colors and hidden secrets. Battled Goombas, who looked suspiciously like sentient mushrooms, each stomp a small victory, and rescued Princess Peach from the clutches of Bowser, a giant pixelated turtle dragon thing. Every encounter with Bowser was a test of skill and timing. The graphics may have been simple, but the gameplay was revolutionary. It was a perfect blend of challenge and fun, a formula that would be emulated for decades. This was the era of joysticks, where every movement was a direct connection to the game world. 8-bit soundtracks that could get stuck in your head for days. Each tune a nostalgic trip back to simpler times. And the birth of gaming icons we still love today. Characters who have stood the test of time, evolving with each new generation of gamers. Sure, you could see the pixels, but who cared? Each pixel was a building block of our imaginations, a doorway to countless adventures. We were too busy having fun. The joy of discovery, the thrill of competition, and the camaraderie of shared experiences made every pixel worth it. Hold on to your hats, gamers, because the 16-bit era was like going from black and white TV to full-blown Technicolor. Colors exploded, sprites got smoother, and games like Sonic the Hedgehog made us feel like we were blazing through levels at the speed of sound, or at least the speed of a really fast hedgehog. The Sega Genesis went head-to-head with the Super Nintendo, and gamers were the real winners. We're talking Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, and the mind-blowing RPG Chrono Trigger. Remember Donkey Kong Country? Those pre-rendered graphics made our jaws drop. It was like watching a cartoon come to life. And let's not forget Street Fighter II, with its iconic characters and somewhat smoother fighting animations. We spent countless hours mastering those special moves. Hadouken! The 16-bit era proved that graphics didn't have to be realistic to be awesome. They just had to be fun. And boy, was this era fun. Section 4. 3D Revolution. Welcome to the world of polygons. This is where the magic of gaming truly began to evolve. Get ready for a revolution, folks. The leap from 2D to 3D was nothing short of extraordinary. The late 90s brought us the mind-blowing jump to 3D graphics. It was a time of innovation and excitement. Remember the first time you saw Super Mario 64? It was a game changer, literally. It was like stepping into another dimension. Suddenly, the gaming world felt more real and immersive. We could finally explore vast 3D worlds from any angle. Mind blown. Suddenly, everything was polygons. The characters, the landscapes, even the smallest details were crafted from these geometric shapes. Characters, environments, even the weapons we used to blast our way through hordes of enemies. It was a new frontier in gaming. Sure, some of those polygons were a little rough around the edges. The early models were far from perfect. Characters sometimes looked like they were made of melted cheese. Glitches were common, but they added to the charm. But hey, it was 3D. We were experiencing something completely new and groundbreaking. We were living in the future. The possibilities seemed endless, and the excitement was palpable. This era gave us classics like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, and the groundbreaking Tomb Raider. These games set new standards for storytelling and gameplay. We went from navigating flat 2D levels to exploring vast immersive worlds. And it was glorious. The sense of freedom and adventure was unparalleled. We saw rapid improvements in graphics and gameplay mechanics. Each new game pushed the boundaries further. Was it perfect? Nope. There were plenty of limitations and challenges. Did it sometimes look like a Picasso painting gone wrong? Maybe. The early 3D models were often abstract and bizarre. But did we care? Not one bit. We were too busy being amazed by the new experiences these games offered. This was the dawn of a new era, a time of rapid innovation and creativity. And we were along for the ride. The journey from 2D to 3D was just the beginning, and it paved the way for the incredible advancements we see in gaming today. Section 5. HD Era. Things got real. Like, really real. Fast forward to the mid-2000s, and hold on to your joysticks. This was a time of rapid technological advancements and groundbreaking innovations in the gaming industry. HD graphics exploded onto the scene, and suddenly, games looked, well, real. Like scary real. The level of detail was unprecedented, making characters and environments come to life in ways we had never seen before. We're talking lifelike textures, detailed environments, and characters so realistic you could practically count their pores. The attention to detail was mind-blowing, from the intricate designs of armor and clothing to the realistic lighting and shadows that added depth to every scene. Games like Gears of War redefined the third-person shooter genre with its gritty visuals and cover-based combat. The intense firefights and strategic gameplay kept players on the edge of their seats, while the stunning graphics made every explosion and gunfight feel incredibly real. Uncharted took us on globe-trotting adventures with stunning graphics and cinematic storytelling. The game's breathtaking set pieces and lifelike character animations made it feel like you were playing through a blockbuster movie. And who could forget the epic battles and sprawling landscapes of Shadow of the Colossus? The game's massive, towering colossi and vast open world were a testament to the power of HD graphics, creating an unforgettable experience. Remember the awe of seeing raindrops stream down your screen in heavy rain? The game's realistic weather effects and emotional storytelling made it a standout title in the HD era. Or the incredible detail of the environments in Crisis. The game's lush, tropical settings and advanced physics engine pushed the boundaries of what was possible in video game graphics, setting a new standard for visual fidelity. This was the era where developers pushed the boundaries of what was visually possible, and we reaped the benefits. The competition among developers to create the most visually stunning games led to rapid advancements in graphics technology and game design. The HD era brought a new level of immersion to gaming. Players could lose themselves in these incredibly detailed worlds, feeling like they were truly part of the action. No longer were we staring at pixelated sprites. The leap from the blocky graphics of the past to the lifelike visuals of the HD era was nothing short of revolutionary. We were stepping into living, breathing worlds, and it was awesome. The HD era not only changed the way games looked, but also how they felt, creating more immersive and emotionally engaging experiences for players everywhere.